My name is Kristen Stewart, and I've been instructed to give a little introduction to the fellows we got in the room. We got Mark Wheaton. Hello.
Howdy. I'm one of the writers of The Messengers.
Dustin.
That's Dustin Milligan. I'm one of the actors in The Messengers.
Bruce.
Bruce Jones, I was the visual effects supervisor on the show.
Did a phenomenal job,
Phenomenal
in my opinion.
job. Yeah.
Thank you. Hopefully we all are getting our subsidy checks coming in regularly already.
You guys got paid for this? Man, it is so different in Canada.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, we are recording this after the movie has come out. It has made Sony its money. It is we know of its success, so that's the time that we are recording this commentary.
Yeah, fortunate. Good timing.
#1 movie for Super Bowl weekend, which is always good.
There we go.
Shh, it's okay. Mommy's here. Okay. Shh. I need you to be a big boy, okay?
I got a script just in, the same way that you get all scripts. I really liked it. It was a, really classic ghost story. I really liked the setting too. On a really very American, very isolated farm setting. Initially, I was just really excited to meet the Pang brothers. I was working at the time with Dustin on the movie In the Land of Women.
That is neat.
And so we were on Victoria Island, and I went into the city to meet them. And yeah, so that was, I auditioned for it. It was a pretty classic, way to get into a movie. It's weird to watch this part just because, we had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I don't even remember. Was this even in any of the versions of the script that we saw while shooting?
No.
It's crazy. Yeah, when I first saw this, I was like, what the?
Yeah, same here.
Spooky. Little kids, cracks of light.
Yeah, this opening scene was in a couple of drafts. Early on, it kind of came in, came out. At one time, it was about 2/3 of the way through the movie. Once it's revealed that Corbett's the big bad, and it would come in and come out because the ghosts were meant to be kind of recreating this scene. Towards the end of the film, it was put back in as a kind of almost as a pre-title sequence, but this came in and out of the script kind of all the way through.
It's good. I liked it.
I think it really helps because what it did for me anyhow was said, is it ghosts? Is it a monster? Is it who is the bad guy or who are they? And that's part of the mystery of, I think, what we tried to accomplish throughout this film without giving it away too soon. And Mark, you probably went back and forth on that a 1,000 times.
Yeah, there were a couple of other kills in the opening that kind of in the first act that would come in and come out as well. He's still on IMDb, the guy Graham Bell who played Jim. There was a kill opening about 20 minutes in the film that I think was even shot that was showing how malevolent the ghosts were. It was all about how much violence to show early on. Were the ghosts threatening in a violent way, or you're going to go with that misdirect? Because at the end, obviously, it's Corbett, but went back and forth a number of times during pre-production.
And that was something too, like I remember different versions of the scripts were sort of more bloody than others. I'll pause for Dustin Milligan up on the screen there. Good. All right, moving on. Because yeah, like I remember there was all kinds of different deaths and stuff. And does that, did that come up a lot? Like how violent to get?
Yeah, it was funny because a lot of the drafts had to go past a person at Mandate who was, because this was always meant to be PG-13. At one time, Shadley, Bobby was even beheaded.
Yeah, well that's kind of what I was getting at.
And his head thrown down the stairs, and there was another, William B. Davis, who's in the movie, had a miserable death as well. But it kept going back and forth, how much blood could be shown, how much violence. And there was one woman at Mandate whose sole job it was on this was to explain to us what would be PG-13 and what would be R. And so you'd be working on something else, and you get a note about this kill needs to come out. One guy was burned alive in the movie at one point.
I know,
but
I
a lot
love
of stuff
that.
was taken out. Yeah, that was Tappert's
awesome.
favorite kill, and so I'm like, Tappert, Messengers too. So yeah, Tappert loved that one.
Yeah, I remember it was always very technical in terms of like, you know, blood could not drip, but it could be splattered, and it was.
A little applause for story by Todd Farmer, who recently had his first baby. He's up in Carmel right now. So,
Congratulations, Todd.
my man Todd Farmer.
Let's just say hi to the whole. Let's just like talk about the whole crew.
Hey, Danny and Oxide, welcome from Thailand.
That's a cool, well, I guess it's starting. I should stop talking. Shh, everyone quiet.
It's a cool SUV.
Well, it was cool because you know, we shot this up in Saskatchewan, and it was to be the plains of North Dakota, right? Mm-hmm. And having traveled through North Dakota and South Dakota a few times as a kid, because my grandparents lived in the Dakotas, when I was up there, it was like, wow, it's the same. And so to come across an old abandoned farmhouse was kind of typical. It was kind of apropos for all those urbanites out there that maybe just have never seen that part of the world.
It's funny, I got a bunch of questions from people like, you know, how were they able to transform, you know, Regina, Saskatchewan into, you know, North Dakota? And I was like, it's like a couple miles north. I mean, there's a very imaginary dividing line.
There's a place called La Bodega, which became quite a hangout for
Oh my
those of us
God.
of drinking age. And
Which I was.
One of the interesting things, just as a quick aside, was that a lot of the people on the crew were really competent musicians, and so there was a whole group of us that actually played, and they liked us so much that they brought us back. Like they were willing to pay us to gig there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear about that.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Go see the Messenger
Yeah,
Band.
yeah. Well, we weren't that good. That's the funny part, but they still liked us.
When I first got there, I saw the set house, right? Because they built an entire, or I don't know, I don't really know too much about it, but almost like an entire duplicate of the house, so they could do all those, remember like the legs, the hanging leg shot and that kind of stuff they wanted to pull out?
Totally.
So I first saw that and I was super impressed, and then when I saw this, no, it was, I mean, it's like, I think they did a really good job. It looked really weathered, really worn, all those vines and stuff. Spooky.
Really, the exterior, it looks like I wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah.
No way. My favorite is just, I mean, the field. Just, I mean,
Yeah.
rolling hills. I mean, and it's also kind of weird because it's so flat, but we got the one little area where there's like...
The little valley.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd like to throw out at this moment that I'm in fact wearing a Indian Head, Saskatchewan T-shirt right now, which is the right where the farm that we're looking at. That's just right outside that town.
A progressive prairie town.
The most progressive prairie town, I'd say, but that's just me. I'm biased. I'm Canadian.
What was it, about an hour from Regina to get to this location? I was the last person there every day. I would go about 300 miles an hour to try to get to set on time. And we would fly over these dirt roads. I ripped the muffler off one of the cars because we'd bottom out on this about 5-mile dirt road every day to go to this location.
Yeah, I remember a few people getting stuck on that road.
Yeah, especially when it rained.
It's
We
almost
couldn't
as
get the
if-
trucks out.
Yeah, that's right. Sad story.
And it had just been shot, too. A lot of the crew from Messengers was coming right over from Terry Gilliam's Thailand, which you can see some of the builds from the porch. If you just look across, they were still standing. So if you see Thailand, I mean, there are even cast, there are members of the crew that were coming over from that. It's the exact same location as that film.
And there's an actress, the little girl who played...
Louisa Rose in the movie.
Yeah.
She's in that as well?
Yeah,
She's
she
in
was
Thailand,
she
yeah.
was the main character in Thailand. Is one of the ghosts in here? Plays a little boy.
I knew it, man.
Yeah,
I
she's from
recognized
Thailand.
her. I knew it, and I was like, that looks... Did she have like a twin brother or something? And then wigs, Hollywood magic.
The interesting thing about those other buildings that you mentioned, Mark, is that every time we would point the camera to them, I'd have a producer run up to me and go, can you paint those out? Can those be removed? It's like,
No.
can't you just turn the camera like 3 degrees?
Jeez.